Hi, my name is Meghla Bhardwaj. I'm the founder of India Sourcing Trip. So we just concluded our inaugural India Sourcing Trip, and it has been a phenomenal success. There's been overwhelming response from people. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about why we did this trip in the first place, how we want to help Amazon sellers with this trip. So as the name suggests, it's a sourcing trip, but I wanted to make this more than a sourcing trip. I wanted to give people the opportunity to learn all about sourcing from India, because I feel that there's a lot of information about sourcing from China, but not many people are aware of all of the opportunities and the possibilities that there are in India to source products. So that was one of my objectives with this trip. I wanted to open new opportunities and new possibilities for Amazon sellers to source really cool, innovative products. And for that, we visited the trade show over here. It's called the Indian Handicrafts and Gifts Fair, that has almost 4,000 exhibitors of really exquisite, unique, innovative, very high quality products that are handmade, handcrafted, and they are nothing like the products that you see from China suppliers at Canton Fair. These products are very luxurious, and they can command higher prices and can potentially be more profitable for Amazon sellers.
Usually you can, because you're not competing with 10 or 20 other people selling that product. Your product will be a lot better quality, and it will usually maybe the only one exactly like that on Amazon.
The other thing that I wanted to do was to educate Amazon sellers on how to source from India, because there's not a lot of information available about how to go about finding suppliers, how to vet suppliers, how to negotiate with suppliers. So what we did was, before we went to the trade show, we organized a full-day conference where we invited sourcing service providers. We invited Americans who have been living in India for many years, and they deal with suppliers on a daily basis. So they shared their perspectives on things like cultural sensitivities, how do you deal with suppliers? What are the things that you need to be aware of in terms of the way that business is done over here?
But the main types of materials would be the brass, copper, stainless steel. There's galvanized iron as well. There's wrought iron. And so most of the metals that you think would be used for a product, you can definitely get here in India. And the main regions would be Moradabad, Jaipur, and Jodhpur.
What you're seeing are the areca leaf products. So these are actually made out of fallen leaves. What that basically means is there are no leaves that are even cut.
And the softwood is slightly less denser and is non-porous. It's lighter in color. As you know, pine, you would have seen the pine wood is lighter in color as compared to the hardwoods. We talked about the brownish tinge and all we saw in the morning, which was hardwood from India.
If you're going to the 100% export-oriented factory, they know that the product has to be 100% error-free. The export-oriented factory has no local business. They are 100% dependent on the international business.
When you start moving into business, some of the things that matter and that you need to know and be aware of, and maybe just some perspective shift, because one of the reasons that I've really grown to love India is I think it has a lot to do with your perspective. And sometimes from a Western context, the things that we see that we don't understand, that seems wrong, just because we don't understand it. But then the deeper we get into it and the more we understand kind of the meaning behind that thing, the more it begins to make sense and we can fall in love with it. So,
the freight may seem like, okay, somebody has quoted me $3 and the other guy's quoted me $20. What happened here? If it's LCL, probably somebody is not giving you the destination charges. They're only giving you the India side of quotation. They could have probably not given the bond fees, maybe the brokerage fees. But now that you have like a little bit more understanding of what is included in cost, please ask for all of them and look at your quotes in totality.
And then we also got service providers to talk about things like logistics, because logistics is a bit difficult from India. So you have to have the right information, and you have to have the right service provider to be able to manage all of your logistics. Not many freight forwarders are actually familiar with FBA requirements. We had a quality control person talk about inspections when you're sourcing from India. Someone talked about negotiating with suppliers. What kind of questions to ask when you are trying to vet suppliers? That's another important topic. How to differentiate trading companies from manufacturers. So basically what we provided was a crash course on how to source from India. All of the information that you need to know to source confidently and effectively and profitably from India. So that was a big focus of the trip as well. The third aspect of the trip that we really focused on was the cultural aspect. We wanted to give attendees a taste of the culture in India, because India has a very rich culture, thousands of years. And in fact, each state in the country is very different, and they have their own different culture and own traditions. So what we did was we organized a cultural program for the entire group. We had a dance troupe come over, and they did this really nice lively dance. We also got attendees to wear traditional Indian attire. They wore saris, they wore henna tattoos, and they were dancing. So it was a lot of fun, and there was a lot of cultural immersion. And then we also took all attendees to Taj Mahal for a day trip, and that was an unbelievable experience, even for me, because I had been to the Taj maybe like 20 years ago or so. See it in person, it is so majestic and grand. It's a symbol of love, actually. It's a sight to see. You have to see it. It has to be on your bucket list.
It's amazing. Seriously, just the intricacy of it. It's so pretty.
But I'll go one step further and I'll say experiencing it with my beautiful partner, but also the amazing people that we've come here with. We've got a group of 35, you included, that has become lifelong friends.
Yes.
So to experience something
That's
like
so
this with you guys, it's definitely made it even better. It really has. What experience.
You have to see it to believe it, to be honest. You really do.
I'm so glad I came. It's an amazing building.
Everything you've seen in pictures, but nothing matches its real beauty.
On the trip, all of them were extremely happy and extremely satisfied with the value that was provided on the trip. I think no other trip, whether to China or any other country, provides so much value. We take care of everything for you, including the hotel, transportation, SIM cards. We had personalized airport pickup for each person. So that was something that people really appreciated, because when you're coming to a new country, you really don't know what to expect. Especially a country like India that can be a bit chaotic and it's not very well organized. So I think attendees appreciated that a lot. We had somebody waiting for them at the airport holding a placard with their name on it. And they first took them to the SIM card counter, bought a SIM card for them, and then brought them to the hotel. When people came here to the hotel, they were given a traditional Indian welcome with a garland and a tikka on their forehead. So that's something that people appreciated. And yeah, overall, little things really matter. So we surprised attendees here and there. For example, when they went to the Taj, took photos of each person in front of the Taj. And then when they came back to the hotel that same evening, we had printed their photographs, put them in a nice photo frame, and kept them in their hotel rooms. So that was a really nice surprise for them. You know, when they came back in the evening from Taj, they entered their rooms and they saw their photos already there. Yeah, I really like to take care of these, you know, little things. I think these things make people feel special, and it makes the trip more valuable and more enjoyable. The next trip is scheduled for April 2020, and I would invite all Amazon sellers to come join this trip to experience sourcing from India, to experience the culture, to experience the food and the hotels and everything. And I think this trip has become a lot more than just a sourcing trip. It is opening up opportunities for not only Amazon sellers, but also suppliers in India. When we were at the show, in fact, the show organizer, they invited us to address suppliers, because not a lot of Amazon sellers are sourcing from India nowadays. So we are like almost the first wave of sellers, Amazon sellers coming to India. So we did a presentation to all of the suppliers to talk to them about how Amazon sellers source and how they can cater to our needs. And then they asked us questions about, what is important to us. We were treated like VIPs. So all of us were sitting in this big boardroom with our names on the desks. And then they gave us mementos and flowers, and the chairman of the organization was there. So they were really excited to receive us and have us at the fair. So I think this trip is opening up opportunities for a lot of different groups of people for business. Amazon sellers have a new market and new exciting products to source. Indian suppliers have a new segment of buyers they can sell to.
मैं अच्छा हूँ. I'm good. Good. मेरा नाम Gary. मेरा नाम अश्विनी. अच्छा लगा. बहुत अच्छा लगा. शुक्रिया.
It's really very exciting, and I'm so honored and privileged to be at the forefront of this massive change that's happening. So I would encourage all of you to join me at the next India sourcing trip in April 2020. Please go to indiasourcingtrip.com to get more information, and I hope to see you in Delhi.